Time to finish the chapter. Hello, Haley. Hello, Tyrell. Alright. I think we had 3 or 4 of us. Let's see. I'll give it like another 20 seconds. We have to finish the chapter because it's literally we're here and this is the last page in the chapter, and then it's over to a new chapter here, which will be a better spot to leave things. It'll still be a suspenseful spot to leave things. Oh, that's quite a bit. I'm going to check how many pages we got through today. So I can give you an idea about where we are likely to get to tomorrow. Alright, 273. So we got through 24 pages today, which means we have 2 more days, going a little bit long. We'll do 2 more days and then we'll finish this up on Friday. So, let us carry on and finish the chapter for now. Then they organized themselves to leap into the sky. Gorse took Gnarl and Zell. The hounds, all but Spear, ranged on either side of Gorse, waiting for Rosie. Rosie knelt down in front of Spear and put her hands on his narrow shoulders. He licked her nose. "It is all right," he said. "I will wait for you." "We'll be back soon," said Rosie, knowing that this was the sort of useless pretending thing that humans said. But Spear had pity on her and said only, "Yes." Rosie stood up, turning away from her old friend, gently patted the pocket that again contained Throstle and 2 mice. She could feel them trembling. She patted the pocket with the spindle in to give herself courage, and then looked at Fast. "I don't know how to ride," she said. "I know," said Fast. "Hold on to my mane, and let Sunflower sit within your arms. You may fall off on landing, but you mustn't fall on takeoff." Gnarl looked perfectly at ease on Gorse's back. Rosie, trying to figure out how to scramble up on Fast's, wondered how he got there. The bigger, more muscular horse perfectly suited the bigger, burlier rider. Zell's nose over Gnarl's arm and brush under it slightly spoiled the effect, but they looked as if they might be off one of the tapestries in Woodwald's great hall, illustrating the noble deeds of Prendergasts through the ages. It only then occurred to Rosie that Gnarl, like everyone present last night, was dressed in fine clothes, if by now a little the worse for wear and thorn rents. She didn't know he had any fine clothes. She hadn't noticed before, she thought, because he looked so comfortable in them, rather as he looked on Gorse's back, unlike herself, who in 3 months of wearing ladies' clothes hadn't once felt at ease in them. Oh well, she thought, who cares? But she did care. Gnarl's clothing, black and brown and grey, and mostly of leather, fitted him too well to be borrowed. On the proud golden Gorse he could have been anyone. Only the smith's chain gave him away. She thought of Peony, who always looked graceful and serene and unwrinkled, and considered for about the space of an inhale, but before the exhale, if she could possibly learn to hate her friend, and decided she could not. I wonder if Gnarl is hoping that if he rescues Peony... She spent a moment trying to imagine Gnarl as the romantic lover, kneeling at his beloved's side, taking her hand reverently in his, and covering it with kisses. To her own dismay, she started to laugh. Gnarl turned his head at once, amusement bright in his eyes. "It's harder on a slab-sided beanpole like the one you drew," he said, thinking that she was laughing at her attempts to climb astride. "But there's a barrel just there, which is what I used. You don't think I'm one of those crack jockeys that vault from the ground, do you?" Fast followed her and stood quietly as she eased herself on. "Fine. Now let your legs hang down as straight as they'll go, and get your seat bones out of my spine." Rosie hastily shifted her weight forward, and beckoned to Sunflower, who bounced from barrel to Rosie's lap with too much enthusiasm, and nearly hurtled off the other side as consequence. She overheard a quick consultation between the 2 horses, flick, 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 of bunched muscles and aiming. They weren't bothering to lay it out for any human that might be listening in. Flinks was ignoring them all, but Hrock added something that had to do with the shorter legs and lighter weight of the hounds. Since there wasn't actually much vocabulary, in the human sense of the term, in beast speech, cross-species communication, so long as the topic was mutual, was feasible if a bit rough, and then they lined up, facing in the same direction, looking at the castle above the briar hedge. Fast gave a sort of wriggling sway, like a cat readying himself to pounce, and Rosie felt his hind end sink as he gathered himself together. She grabbed as much of his mane as she could round Sunflower, and tried to squeeze her legs in the little hollows behind the swell of his shoulders, and then he sprang into the air. And that is the end of the chapter. Let's see, chapter 21, chapter 22. I think there are 23. Okay, there are 3 more chapters left. So we'll try and do 1.5 tomorrow and then finish up on Friday. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad that you are sharing this with me. We are on page 298, chapter 21. Tomorrow and Friday, and then we'll finish. Have a wonderful night. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you tomorrow.